Browns won't commit to Shedeur Sanders' role next week after strong debut. Less than 24 hours after Shedeur Sanders' impressive NFL debut, Browns coach Kevin Stefanski still wasn't ready to answer the question most on the minds of Cleveland fans. Will Sanders start working with the first-team offense leading into next Saturday's second preseason game at Philadelphia? We need to get through the next couple of days from an injury standpoint and see where everybody is, Stefanski said Saturday. I'm really focused on all of our quarterbacks' development and every single one of these reps last night, how important they are. So that's what I'm focused on more than anything. Sanders played nearly 3 quarters and had 45 snaps in Friday night's 30-10 victory over the Carolina Panthers. He directed 3 touchdown drives in 10 series and completed 14 of 23 passes for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. The stat that pleased everyone the most, though, is that the Browns didn't have a turnover. Sanders is listed as the 4th-string QB and has not seen any snaps with the first string during the first 3 weeks of practices. He got the start and received extended playing time in the preseason opener because of Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel sidelined with hamstring injuries. Veteran Joe Flacco got most of the work during last Wednesday's joint workouts. However, Sanders made a strong case in showing he should get opportunities to see how he fares against starters. The Browns' next practice is Monday at their team facility. They travel to Philadelphia on Tuesday before joint workouts with the Eagles on Wednesday and Thursday. For his part, Sanders continues to stay patient with the process the Browns have set out for his development. It is the same mentality he has had since dropping to the 5th round and the 144th overall selection in April's draft. I just don't think that deep into everything because there's nothing you're going to be able to control, Sanders said when asked if he is being given a fair chance in the Browns' 4-way quarterback competition. The most you can do is when you get your opportunity, when your number is called, perform, at least do the bare minimum and win the game. That's what I feel like we did today and definitely things I'm able to grow off of. In addition to seeing how he would fare in the red zone and a variety of third-down scenarios, the coaching staff also got to see how Sanders would fare on a couple of series where the Browns started inside their 10-yard line. For the most part, Stefanski was able to run through a lot of different game situations. You don't want to show much, but also you want to put your players in positions where you can evaluate them, Stefanski said. We kind of did it all last night, including a jet sweep to Gage Larvadain for the touchdown. We want to win because they're keeping score, but you also want to vary your run types, vary your pass types so you're learning more about each one of your players. According to Next Gen Stats, Sanders was pressured on 12 of his 27 dropbacks. He was 5-4, 9 for 81 yards, including a 12-yard touchdown to Caden Davis to put the Browns up 14-7 in the second quarter. Sanders was sacked twice, but also avoided trouble a couple of times on scrambles where it could have been a 15 to 20-yard loss. Many consider Sanders to be one of the most accurate quarterbacks in this year's draft class. He showed that off on a couple of plays Friday. The second touchdown pass to Davis and a 30-yard completion to Luke Floria, where he layered it over 4 Carolina defenders and Floria made a one-handed grab near the sideline. That next step is getting in the game settings and taking the practice field to the game, Stefanski said. I thought that's what we saw by and large from Shedeur. That's what we saw by and large from our offense, was really taking those things that we're honing in on the practice field and then showing them in the games. While there's game plans that will be more complicated as you get going and certainly as you get to the season, we really want to put our guys in as many situations as possible, and I thought those guys handled it really well. The lights had barely cooled at First Energy Stadium when the speculation began. Rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders, fresh off an impressive preseason debut, stood at his locker surrounded by cameras, questions, and a fan base eager to crown him Cleveland's next big thing. But as strong as his performance was, 14 for 18, 178 yards, 1 touchdown, and a poise that looked anything but rookie, the Browns coaching staff refused to commit to his role for next week's game. If there's one thing the NFL teaches rookies fast, it's that nothing is guaranteed. The night that started the buzz. Sanders' debut was the kind of preseason performance that sends highlight packages ricocheting across social media. He didn't just throw completions, he orchestrated drives. He didn't just manage the huddle, he owned it. Fans left the stadium chattering about his pinpoint 35-yard strike to Amari Cooper, the way he evaded a blitz with a subtle sidestep before hitting Elijah Moore on the run, and the way he treated every snap like it counted for more than August usually does. It was the kind of night that makes a city believe. The official word, or lack thereof. When head coach Kevin Stefanski took the podium, reporters wasted no time. "Coach, will Shedeur get more first-team reps next week?" Stefanski's expression didn't budge. "We'll evaluate the film, look at where we are health-wise, and make that decision during the week," he said. "We're happy with how he played, but we've got a plan for all our quarterbacks." It wasn't a no, but it certainly wasn't a yes. The cautious tone contrasted sharply with the fan reaction. On talk radio and online forums, the clamoring began. Give him more snaps. Let's see what he can do with the starters. A deliberate process. For Stefanski and the coaching staff, it's not about riding a hot hand, not in August. They're balancing development with evaluation. Sanders is still a rookie learning NFL defenses, and the preseason is as much about testing depth as it is about showcasing stars. But in the locker room, several teammates admitted his performance had turned heads. "Man, he was calm," said wide receiver Donovan Peoples-Jones. "Even when things broke down, he stayed in the pocket and found somebody. That's not easy for a young guy." Center Ethan Posick added, "He's earned trust. That doesn't always happen this fast." The quarterback room dynamics. The Browns' quarterback depth chart is a chessboard right now. The starter's role is solidified, but behind that, there's a delicate balance of veterans and developing talent. Sanders' emergence adds an intriguing wrinkle. He's clearly talented enough to handle more responsibility, but the team may want to keep his exposure controlled, not just for his sake, but for roster strategy. An NFL executive not affiliated with Cleveland put it bluntly. "Once you move a rookie up for extended first-team reps in preseason, the hype train starts rolling, and it's hard to slow it down without controversy."